So, in the ancient city of Nashik, India, there's this incredible temple that completely breaks one of the most fundamental rules. It tells a story all about a god's terrible sin, a huge journey for redemption, and a lesson in humility you might not expect. Today, we're diving into the legend of Kapaleshwar.
All right, so if you know anything about temples for Lord Shiva, you know there's one thing you always see: his loyal bull, Nandi, right there guarding the entrance. I mean, it's pretty much a non-negotiable part of this sacred architecture, except for this one place. The Kapaleshwar Temple is famous precisely because of this glaring absence. So the big question is, why is Nandi missing? And that question is really at the heart of this whole story.
And the answer? Well, it's not something you'll find in an architectural blueprint. We have to go way, way back to the very beginning. We're talking about a primordial conflict between two of the most powerful forces in the entire cosmos, the Creator and the Destroyer. So, the story kicks off with this massive dispute between Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. And in a moment of just pure divine rage, Shiva does something totally unthinkable. He severs one of Brahma's 5 heads. And that severed head, or Kapala, is the key to everything that happens next.
You see, this single act unleashed an immediate, and I mean inescapable, consequence. In Hindu mythology, harming a Brahmin, a member of the priestly class, is a super grave sin known as Brahmahatya, dosh. But by harming Brahma, the ultimate creator, Shiva had committed the greatest sin of all. And believe it or not, even for a god, there was a heavy price to pay.
And the punishment? It was instant, and it was personal. That very skull he had just severed, it magically fused itself right onto his hand. Can you imagine? It was this constant, grim reminder of what he'd done, a mark of a sin that he just could not get rid of, no matter how hard he tried.
So, this curse, this was just the beginning of a really long, really unforgiving journey. Shiva, one of the most powerful beings in existence, was now a wanderer, forced into this state of penance to seek absolution for his crime.
Just try to picture it. One of the most powerful gods in the universe, wandering the earth as a penitent. He performed these intense austerities. He prayed at who knows how many shrines. He did literally everything you could imagine to atone. But the curse, it was just unyielding. That skull stayed glued to his hand, a symbol of a sin that seemed completely unforgivable. After what had to feel like an eternity of fruitless searching, help finally showed up. But here's the thing, it didn't come from another powerful god or some celestial being. Nope, it came from a much, much humbler and a far more surprising source. Completely worn out from his travels, Shiva sits down to rest, and it's at that moment that a simple cow walks up to him. But this wasn't just any ordinary animal. This cow was an embodiment of wisdom, and it was destined to show him the path forward. And the cow? It spoke. It gave Shiva the one simple answer that had been eluding him for so long. The instructions were so clear, a path finally filled with hope. Go to Panchavati. Bathe in the sacred Godavada river. Your sin will be washed away. Okay, so clinging to this newfound hope, Shiva sets off for Nashik. This was it. This was the moment everything had been building towards, the climax of his long, long penance. Following the cow's counsel, Shiva arrived at the sacred banks of the Godavari River in Panchavati. This was the place foretold, the place where his fate was supposed to finally turn around.
With faith in the words of his unlikely guide, he stepped into the river. This was that moment of truth, you know? The final act of a really long and painful journey of repentance.
And just like that, in that single instant, as the holy water washed over him, the impossible happened. The skull, the Kapala that had been fused to his hand for ages, it just fell away. The curse was broken. Shiva was free. But you know, this powerful moment of redemption isn't just the end of the story. Oh no, it's the beginning of the temple's legacy, and it's the key to finally solving our initial mystery. So, to commemorate this moment of absolution, Shiva established a temple right there on that very spot, and he gave it a name that would forever tell its story, Kapaleshwar, which literally means the Lord of the Skull, a permanent reminder of the curse he had overcome. And this, right here, brings us all the way back to our central question. So why is there no Nandi? Well, here's the beautiful part. Out of just immense gratitude, Shiva elevated the cow to the status of his guru, his teacher. And in Hindu tradition, a disciple never sits in front of their guru. So since Nandi is Shiva's greatest disciple,
His absence is the ultimate sign of respect for his master's teacher.
So what can we take away from all this? This ancient story really leaves us with two pretty powerful lessons. First, that no matter how grave the mistake, sincere repentance and faith can lead to redemption. And second, that maybe true strength isn't about power or might at all, but about the humility to accept guidance and show gratitude.
It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? A missing statue isn't just an oversight. It's a whole story of humility, repentance, and respect, basically written in stone. It kind of makes you wonder what other incredible stories are hidden all around us in the details we so often overlook. Thanks for exploring that question with me today.